Here we go. When anyone claps, I think you can take your bow. I think it's more awkward when you just stand there and not knowing what to do. But bravo. I wanted to hear more, but time is short, rather. So let's start talking about. What do you think?
Maybe
Pitch. Oh, I didn't get there yet.
Okay.
You're very detailed. I'm coming from a very big picture to the detail.
Maybe like body movement.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. my very first impression, I don't know about you guys, but my very first impression was, even when you're tuning with the piano, was very relaxed and in tune. You talked about pitch. You were very in tune and ease. And I thought, wow, great sound. And he's ready, and he's only 17. And then you started your piece, and I'm like, wait, is this the same person? It's a funny thing that when we do the tuning, it's so most of the time it's stress-free, and we're like, this is my A. And then when it comes to the piece, oh my God, I have to play well. And then you're a little more tense, then you get a little bit nervous, and then the sound quality is not the same. Somehow the brain, our brain, mind, and our sound, it works the other way around somehow. You know, it works for the sports athletes as well. The more you want to do, the better you want to do. Somehow it works, how do you say, counterproductive? Yeah. So now you're warmed up. Let's start again. And you talked about body language. It could be in the same subject, that if you're tensed, also we can tell not only from your sound but also from your body as well. So forget about us. You're all alone in this room. You're only practicing, and forget about I have to do well. You know, let's just play. It's a great piece of music. I love Romberg. He's a great composer, and we'll get to that. But let's just hear maybe first few phrases, and then we'll talk more.
I'll give you 2 bars. How do you feel?
I feel more relaxed.
Yeah, that's great. That's how we felt too, right? But now the question is, how shall we get there in the first time? You know, whenever you're playing for the audition, for a concert, you know, there's no second time. They're not gonna have you play again. Oh, now you're relaxed and you're warmed up. Let's play again. We'll give you another chance. No, we're only having one shot. So I don't quite remember if anyone talked about this when I was a student, but as I was performing more and more, I was realizing how important it is how you think, what your mindset is before stage, on stage as well, right? So what I realized was, like I said, the better you want to do, it works the other way. And the more you want to relax, you think about, oh, I have to relax, and then you get tense more. It's a very rough cycle, you know? So I wanted to really get out of this, I would say, bad habit, so to speak. That's why I said erase everyone. You know, there's no jury, there's not even a public, you know, or even if there is a public like this, see, they're all smiling at you, they want you to do well. We're not here to criticize you, we're here to get better together, you know. So, so much over talk. I should let you play more. Let's do, we'll go back, and now it's your third time, and talking about body language now that you spoke about it, I saw very, very good posture. Great posture is always good, but now that you want to know more about body language, it should also serve what you want to bring to the audience. So in this case, we're playing a concerto, which means normally there's a whole orchestra behind you, and most of the time there's a conductor. Or in this case, you could even do it yourself. So which means you are the leader. But with your posture, I could only see a very good student. You know, oh, he learned very well, very correctly, you know? But then how are you going to do it?
Maybe
the music.
Maybe getting more cues.
More cues, that's good.
I also feel like I have an issue with like knowing where to look.
Sometimes I get this question. Yeah. I feel that's a very strange question, actually. But before we get to that question, I wanted to continue what you were saying about read more, giving more cues, but think about conductors, for example. They can give you a great cue, they can lead, but we need a lot more than giving a cue. So where I was going for was that you're the soloist, you're leading the whole orchestra. So you have to give the impression of, ta-da, this is my thing. I got this. Not like, am I doing correctly? You know? Yeah, it only comes from inside out. Not like you have to imitate from outside in. I have to give this. No. If you have it inside, it'll come out of you without trying, or without even, let's get there, without even thinking about where to lick. You know? When I was a teenager, a long time ago, that was not a question I ever thought about. But time to time, I do get these questions that, where do I lick during the concert? Normally, you look at the part, or you're opening your eyes, but you're not really looking at anything. That's how I get it. You're looking with the peripheral vision, not like, oh, that's a nice bag. Or, oh, she's pretty in that eyes. No, it's like you're looking the whole picture, but then in your brain, you're playing the music. Let me give you 2 examples. I've never played this piece, but let's see. I'm going to exaggerate a little bit. So the first one is going to be this could have been a flute sonata, I would say. But as a concerto, look at this rhythm. A lot of classical period concertos start like that. You know, a lot of marching. So I would play differently because it's a concerto, because it's from the classical era. You don't play everything the same. You have to change so much because of the piece, for the piece's sake. So I would rather play like the and downs, but in this case, you have to first of all play from the up first, not from the middle and stay in the middle. Am I doing it right? You know? So, give us. Ta-da! Look at even Nielsen Concerto. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's a ta-da moment. Ta-da! Look at the rhythm, it's a ta-da. Yes? So give us the ta-da, right? Okay, and then we'll move on. Okay?
Okay.
All you did was a change of a dot, and then the whole thing changes. Yeah? So sometimes you have to come from the bigger picture, and then go detail, and then sometimes come back out again. I always think about the Google map, Google Earth,
Right.
Google Earth. When
Right.
you come all the way back, you see a little ball of all Earth, you know, and then. Do you know about Romberg a little bit?
He was a cello player.
Yeah. And?
He wrote one of cello concertos.
Yeah?
Yeah, and this was probably a commission. I think he's the only one who did.
I think so, yeah. Lucky us. So Romberg was like, for us it's like De Vienne, who wrote so many flute concertos. So Romberg was a cello fanatic, I would say. He's written like 10 cello concerti, and plus a lot of cello concertinos as well. So, and double concertos, and he made the modern cello more adaptable. He did some little here and there innovations of the cello instrument itself. So probably it's more like Berg for us, right? So I think when you approach this piece or his composition in general, always keep in mind of the cello playing, you know, because that's where he came from. And this was his once in a lifetime, literally, flute piece. So for him, it's all about cello. He could play everything in cello. So that might help a lot. So when we are tackling, so to speak, and learning so many repertoires as we go, we are most of the time swamped by so many notes. We don't even have enough time to learn all the notes, so to speak. But what will help us for the long run is to know more about the composer. So this kind of imagination already would change you a lot in your playing and in your interpretation. So listen to other Romberg's cello concertos. You know, they are actually very similar in the beginning. Da, you know. But then in the middle, listen carefully how it changes and how cello develops in certain registers and certain registers not, and how Romberg would have imagined the flute of back then in his time, not the metal flute like we have. So all that kind of knowledge and imagination will get you through playing this piece more interesting way, not just another 16th note, you know, and not knowing where we're going to, you know. So I'm coming back to the bigger picture. So Romberg wrote this color he wants to create, and yeah, there are many notes, but in the end it's just he wanted to say this, you know. So yeah. Let's just do the end of the piece where there are many notes. We haven't heard this yet. Let's just hear from 320.
320? Okay. Okay, I'll read it.
And any questions so far?
Over here, I think I should put a key.
You mean with?
Yeah. How
With
do you
piano?
approach doing like this kind
So that's actually a very good question. So his question was how to cue, for example, where he just started for the last time. And the rhythm goes like, so we're in 4/4, and the rhythm goes like 1, 2, right? In one sentence, you always have to go to the downbeat. So you're not cueing, you know, we're going for, and think about if it's going to be awkward to give her the 4th beat or the 3rd beat, or shall we go in 2, or shall we go in 4? You know, think about in the orchestra how the conductors will give. You know, if he gives you, you know, it's too fast. Sometimes, depends on the tempo, sometimes it's too fast. So they give you in 2, 1, right? Same thing with our breathing. So I would do 1, rather than 1, 2, 3, right? So I would do. So it wasn't really clear, but she came in anyway. She came in anyway. Bad example. She'll be with you anytime, anywhere. do 1, 2, right? So, bum, bum, bum. So always go for the next bar. And it will be always also helpful to practice with the piano, you know, and make sure, okay, she's a bad example, but get a normal pianist and practice and ask the pianist, do you get my cue? Is that okay? You know? Yeah. So, yeah, bravo.
Yeah,
bravo.
thank you.